contact the hijack the frequencies, blocking the beltway move on DC. Way past the days of bomb and MC. Sound off, mommy, you're gonna be free. Who got 'em? Yo, check the federal file. All you pen devils know the trial was vile. Army of pigs try to silence my style. Off from all the boxes, my radio dial. Hey folks, Cray here, and I am playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the Dreamcast. This is definitely the definitive version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. It has better graphics than either the N64 or PlayStation versions. Definitely better audio than the N64 version, and improved loading times over the PS1 version. There was a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X that came out in the original Xbox, and that had every level from Pro Skater 1 and 2, 5 brand new levels, 4-player split screen, all kinds of cool shit. But that actually came out after like Pro Skater 3, so I think it's sort of an unfair comparison. As far as the original iterations go, I mean this is definitely the best version, and it's cheap and easy to come by on eBay. If I'm familiar with the Pro Skater series, I guess I'd like to know what exotic island you're living on. Maybe I can swing by and we can have some pina coladas. But seriously, if you want me to fill you in, it's, well, when the original Pro Skater came out, it was a very interesting game because it really had no genre. It defied classification. Was it an extreme sports game? Was it a platforming game? An action game? No one really knew. Basically, you're given these checklists of goals to do in each level, and I'm gonna... Oh, wow, I made that. You're given a checklist of goals to do in each level. Some of them are related to your score. Some of them are things like knock over barrels, as I've been doing. Collect the letters that spell skate. Things like that. And you're given 2 minutes to accomplish this. You can get as many or as few as you'd like. And whatever ones you miss, you can always go back in for another 2-minute run and snag those. As you complete goals, you unlock later levels. Part of what makes this series so appealing is its very intuitive control scheme. It works really well with the traditional diamond-shaped button layout that you see on the original PlayStation and on Dreamcast, on Xbox, and even on the N64 with the C buttons. The lower button, if you hold it down, it makes you go faster. You release it and you ollie. The left button performs foot tricks. The right button performs grab tricks. And the upper button performs grinds. And you can adjust your turning speed with the shoulder buttons. Really easy to get into. It's one of those games where, you know, it's very simple, where anyone can pick it up and give it a shot, and the more experienced players can definitely put some time into it and master their tricks and their combos. That was a sequel, Pro Skater 2. I don't think it really broke the mold. It introduced some great elements like the park editor and create a skater and new moves and bigger and better areas with, you know, just bigger checklist of goals to do. You know, no major shakeups, but you know, as far as sequels go, especially to a new series at the time, yeah, I think it performed pretty well. This is a great version of the game. Of course, it doesn't exist in a vacuum, and I feel that later versions, particularly 3, 4, and Underground, really surpassed this one. But for its time, this was a great game. It still is. It's still very playable, very fun. Pro Skater games are known for their, well, usually pretty good soundtracks. Back in my day, we didn't have Last FM, we didn't have MySpace, or anything like that. And I went to high school in a very rural high school. There was a good chance you'd step in goat shit from the student parking lot up to the building. And one way for me to get into new music was Pro Skater games, believe it or not. Just about every Pro Skater game has gotten me into a new band. Don't listen to a lot of these bands anymore, to be honest, but that's besides the point. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, as you play, you unlock cash, which you can use to upgrade your stats and buy new equipment. Personally, if I could pay to make myself better, I'd probably do that. I would not have a video game collection. I would be super strong and super fast. I'd be like the Incredible Hulk. Personally, if you don't have any Pro Skater games, or you've never really played the series, I think you should start with 3, 4, or Underground. Those are all pretty different games, and I think they're all better versions in the series. But Pro Skater 2 is still a pretty good game, and if you can find it for cheap and you have a classic system, I definitely say check it out. About the Pro Skater games is the free skate mode, which is what I'm using right now. Your score doesn't count for shit. You can't accomplish any goals, but it allows you to practice and familiarize yourself with the different levels. And of course, there's also the multiplayer modes, which are great, especially Graffiti, which is a very, very unique mode where you trick off objects, they turn your color. And your opponent can also trick off the same object. If their score is higher, it turns their color. The person with the most colored objects at the end of the round wins.